impacts. Amanda Radke's here, South Dakota cattle rancher and owner of Bid on Beef. Amanda, thanks for joining us today. The president has been a huge supporter of farmers. He's always trying to find solutions, but a lot of ranchers aren't happy with this. Amanda, you're going to be meeting with the Trump administration this week to discuss all of these things. What are you planning to suggest to the president and his team?
Well, I can appreciate President Trump trying to address the affordability issue in this country. I'm a mom of four, and so I understand the sticker shock when you're going to the grocery store and all items are more expensive than they have been in recent years. And so it makes sense that he'd want to address that issue. But as a fifth-generation cattle rancher, I can tell you, boots on the ground, there's been a generational war on beef that has come from animal rights activists, climate change extremists, Green New Deal politicians, and a packer monopoly that holds 85% of our beef supply captive in recent years due to all of these bad death by 1,000 cuts things that have happened to the rancher. We're at the lowest cow herd numbers that we've seen since the 1950s. And so supplies are tight. We're at a 40-year demand high in the United States for beef, which is great. And so to me, the answer is give us a chance. I want President Trump to bet on the American cattle rancher. We will rise to the occasion of feeding the public. And hey, I think beef can be purchased at any price point for any family, no matter what the budget is.
Yeah, I love beef. I'm just going to say it right now. I eat more beef than any other one thing, but obviously some prices have gone up. You're saying it's a bunch of little factors, death by 1,000 cuts. So what is the solution? We've seen some solutions offered out there, like allow for farmers to be paid to retain heifers, not send them to processing just yet, to allow the herd to grow. Is that the answer? What do you think?
You know, ranchers aren't asking for a hand up or handout. We are asking for a free and fair market. And some of the biggest challenges we face is that we're competing against foreign countries that can produce it cheaper. They don't have the regulations that we do. Meanwhile, we're paying high inputs, fuel, fertilizer, feed, etc., to get that beef from pasture to plate. And so my ask of President Trump would be to rescind on this deal, first and foremost. Second of all, if this beef is going to come into this country, this predicates the need for mandatory country of origin labeling, where that beef is clearly labeled. Because at the end of the day, President Trump's supporters are farmers and ranchers. We want to be able to compete. We know our beef is the best on planet Earth. But I also believe the consumers deserve transparency at the grocery store. They deserve to know where their beef comes from. And let's give them the choice. If they want to support American ranching, we will appreciate it. And it would be an honor to put USA beef on their plates.
Yeah, a country of origin labeling, I just think that should be a requirement without a question. But you're saying a lot of the costs that ranchers are incurring is what is creating the problem. Now, some would say, well, the president did allow for, I believe, $12 billion to farmers. I'm not sure how much of that made it to ranchers. But what else could be done specifically? You don't want to hand out. Is it some kind of price lock on hard costs? What exactly would help here?
Well, I think addressing fuel prices would help consumers and producers alike. But the reality of cattle ranching is the American cattle rancher is pushing 60 years old on average. So with these high prices, they're looking to retire and sell their beef animals. And in the meantime, for a young person to get into ranching, the capital requirement is huge. Labor is a shortage as well. And finally, grass, access to grass. So much of our land has been plowed up and developed that it's very, very hard to find those grazing acres. So anything we could do to open up grazing acres, either letting more CRP be grazed for cattle or providing those incentives or tools or that confidence for a producer to put more land into grass. We need feed out there in the countryside, and we need prayers for rain as well.
Yeah, absolutely. We got a little rain earlier, but yeah, we definitely need more rain. I grew up on a cattle ranch. I went into broadcasting for some reason, but young farmers, we need young farmers. You're going to be meeting with the president. I have a little time left. What are you hearing from fellow ranchers, and what do you hope that the meeting, how the meeting goes this week with the administration?
Well, first and foremost, I think this decision, definitely rocked the cattle industry. I mean, the markets reflected that. And I've been in constant contact with Secretary Rollins, who has been one of the best Secretary of Ags we've had in my lifetime to really have conversations with independent producers and not just lobbyists. My message to the president is to bet on the American cattle rancher. We can get the job done, and we can rise to the occasion of feeding the American people and the world with the best beef possible.
Yeah, well, I love our ranchers and farmers. I know the president does too. I think you'll do an excellent job of articulating the need. Amanda Radke, thanks for coming on today. Best of luck in your meeting this week.